Hello YouTube, EDC Paul here. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. And today we're gonna check out a really interesting knife. Wow, so this is the Shirogorov Neon NL. And well guys, trust me when I'm telling you this. Nothing, absolutely nothing in this world compares to Shirogorov in terms of action. In the knife world, of course. I just swear, there's nothing close to the action of the Shirogorov. It is by far the best I have ever touched in my life. I have had quite a few. Oh, not a few, but I had like 3 of them. And they're just in a league of their own. So Shirogorov, they're made in Russia. They're really interesting in what they offer because they're really premium ones. So they're on the upper spectrum, right, of the price range. The Shirogorov knives start at maybe $600-700. I don't think there's any cheaper than that. This is one of the cheapest, the Neon NL. This one's in crazy micarta, but we'll also get to that. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, so Shirogorov Neon NL. Well, this guy is the smallest. I think it's the smallest in the Shirogorov lineup. It's got a, let's say, it's a medium-sized knife, but like I feel for me, it's a good combination in terms of materials, in terms of size, and so for EDC, it is just great. So let's see the size. Let's open it up. So we've got a size of, let's see, 19.1 centimeters. Blade length is gonna be at 8.4 centimeters, and the cutting edge would be at around, let's say, 8.5. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So 8.5 blade and cutting edge. Right, let's weight it. I just can't get over the action on these. All right, 76 grams. Guys, you have no idea how this how well this knife is made for the 76 grams. Because generally I like a bit of heft on my knives. I like seeing stuff, especially on the more expensive ones. I like seeing stuff that's a bit more heavy, so it doesn't feel cheap in the hand, right? So 76 grams, that's great, guys. All right, let's do a short size comparison. I do not know where my PM2 is, but we're gonna do it with a Para 3 and a crease knife Sebenza 21. That should be fine. So as you can see, closer to the size of the Para 3. It's a smaller knife. Not small by any means. I would say it's a medium-sized knife. But it carries so well. So let me just line that up. Perfect. So as you can see, closer to the Para 3, the Sebenza is a much larger knife. All right. Let's see the carry profile. So yeah, definitely slimmer than the Para 3. Materials and hardware. Okay, so this is a grade 5 titanium, I think, for the handle. And this, by the way, this is micarta. So it's called a crazy micarta because the pattern is so insane. But the thing about this is, well, it does not feel like micarta for me. I'm not a big fan of micarta. This feels like carbon fiber. It is so nicely made and so polished that it does feel like carbon fiber. It's so smooth. Like, you guys have no idea how smooth it is if you haven't touched it. You would think, yeah, it's micarta, it's got this grippiness. No, it's really, really smooth. What else? The hardware is, let's say, proprietary. You can buy a tool from them to disassemble it. It's, I don't know, $250 or so. Or you can just use some cards, you pile them up. I've learned that from Metal Complex, so shout out to him. Just pile some cards up, and you can screw or unscrew the pivot screw. And for this one in the back, you can do the same, or just use a screwdriver with some tape on it, so you don't scratch the stuff. I think that on the inside it's got the, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, it's got the multi-row bearing system, MRBS, which means that they have these steel balls inside that provide this incredible action. Yeah, that's about it. So full TI blade is made out of LMAX. Pocket clip, it's really good. It's got a slick design, feels futuristic, but not in a way that removes functionality. It's really good. No backspacer around this one. I love knives with a backspacer, but this one, to keep the weight lower, doesn't have one. The pocket clip is not reversible. I don't think so. Nope. It is not reversible, and there's only a screw on the inside. It's a hidden screw for the pocket clip, which is so nice. By the way, these screws are can only be seen from one side. The other side, I would have preferred it to be the other way around, for the show side. So this side to be let's say, cleaner version, but that's probably a design feature. All right, so you've got a very versatile blade. Nothing really fancy, but a very utilitarian blade. You can do a lot of stuff with it. It's LMAX. LMAX is made by Bowler, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a pretty good steel, I'd say. I don't think nobody needs anything more than LMAX. It's very good. Most of their knives come in M390, but they do have some special steels too. But nowadays, the more cheaper ones either come in LMAX or PM Chromax, I think. Something very similar to that. All right, let's move on to the action, and we're gonna start with ease of deployment. So you've got this, only deployment method is the flipper tab, but it works incredible. The D10 is tuned to perfection, and it is very, very easy to actuate. So, to action. So, and I think you can also push it. So you can light switch it or push it. Yeah, just incredible. Ease of disengagement is very good too. I would say for ease of engagement, I would say a 9, because you do have, being a frame lock, you do have to be careful of the frame lock on the other side. By the way, look at the tolerances here. Like, look at the distance between these lines. It's just so good. So, yeah, I would say a 9. And as for ease of disengagement, I would also say a 9. It's pretty easy access to the lock bar. And you do have this nice edge here where your finger can go in and disengage the knife. So, yeah. Action overall, 10 out of 10. Just incredible. Nothing, as I said, nothing compares to this. Because there are knives that will have their blades drop. So, for example, let's take the Sebenza. This is not the best example because Sebenza is on washers. But anyway, so the blade will drop, and it drops on your finger, and then just shake it closed, right? So it drops like that. On the Shirogorovs, it's a bit different. And that's because of the multi-row bearing system and the fact that, well, everything is controlled from the first time you disengage the knife until the last part of it where the blade drops. Everything is perfectly controlled. It defies gravity, guys, like, for real. This is the most astonishing action I have ever seen. It is just perfect. Like, I cannot get used to how good this thing is. Yeah, so blade, action 10 out of 10. Blade action 10 out of 10, absolutely incredible. Best I've ever seen, and I've seen some really cool and expensive knives. All right, price and value. For this one, I would say Shirogorovs are a bit overpriced. I'm pretty sure that making stuff in Russia is also expensive, especially with what has been happening for the past few years. I'm not going to go into details, but you guys know what I mean. So I'm pretty sure it's pretty expensive to manufacture things in Russia. But these are expensive, guys. Like this, I think this one starts at $600. This one probably even more. I don't know, price and value. I would say it is worth it for the feeling of the Shirogorovs. So I've handled expensive knives, I've handled cheap knives. Nothing, as I said, nothing compares to how good this knife is. It is just money. So I would say the value is there. The value is not necessarily summed by the materials included in the knife. So I don't know. I would say yeah, the value is there. So price and value, I would give that a positive review too. Who's this knife for? It's for everyone. For everyone that wants to pay $600-700 for a knife. I would say this is for the guys that want to go into the Shirogorov range but do not want to pay $1,000 or more. I would say this one is the entry level to this amazing world of Shirogorov knives. And it's probably their best buy, I'd say, because you do get a lot of the quality. There's only minor differences from this one and the more expensive ones. So you do get most of the Shirogorov quality for a lower price. So yeah, it's for the enthusiast that wants to try these out. I would say it's worth paying the amount for it. Of course, guys, of course, no knife is worth 600 euros or dollars or whatever, or 1,000 or 2,000. No, you just buy a Victorinox. But anyway, for the enthusiasts, for the guys that are passionate about knives, they can justify paying this amount for a knife. And I totally feel that. I've been there. People ask me, oh, how do you justify paying that much? I would never pay that much. Yeah, but I'm an enthusiast. I love this stuff, right? So yeah, final thoughts about the Shirogorov Neon NL. As I said, I would say it's an entry level to the Shirogorov world, and the action is just incredible. Guys, I just cannot get tired of how this action is. So yeah, it's an incredible EDC knife. These can be used, guys. Like you don't have to baby them. Of course, if you paid a lot for it, you don't want it to get scratched or whatever. But guys, use your stuff. If you do want to buy stuff, just use it. I understand the collectible part of them, but guys, just use your knife. Most of the people out there, they just use their knife for like cutting, I don't know, packages open. This knife can handle packages, trust me. So do not worry about that. So just use it. Yeah, so I would say the Shirogorov Neon NL is an entry level to the Shirogorov world, and it is definitely worth buying. Give it a try, guys. If you've never touched or tried the Shirogorov in your life, try this one out. Try a bigger one out if you want a bigger one. But guys, it's just incredible. I have no words to describe how good the action on these, and the fit and finish. The fit and finish is also incredible. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. We're closing in to 500 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to each and every one of you. It's like a dream come true for me to share my passion with you guys and receive some praise for it. So drop a like if you've liked the video, if you enjoy my content. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing because it helps me a lot. And yeah, I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you're having an amazing day and a great rest of your week. Bye.